Breaking news. The LA Chargers just sent shockwaves through the NFL. An unexpected performance is turning heads across the league. Just when fans thought the offseason would be quiet, one young player is lighting up training camp and making a strong case to shake up the depth chart. Stay tuned. This isn't just hype. This is momentum, and it could change everything. The Los Angeles Chargers just got a surprising jolt of energy, and it's coming from a name many didn't expect to hear this early. Wide receiver Kendra Lambert-Smith is dominating headlines today after back-to-back impressive performances in practice. Following a strong preseason debut against the Detroit Lions, where he scored a touchdown and showed off blazing speed and sharp route running, Lambert-Smith has kept that fire burning. Reports from training camp suggest he's outperforming expectations and consistently finding the end zone. Coaches and teammates alike are taking notice. While the team had been focused on developing recent draft pick Tre Harris, a name many expected to shine, it's Lambert-Smith who's stealing the spotlight so far. Before we dive deeper into this developing story, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so you never miss the latest Chargers updates. Now, back to the action. It's worth noting, this wasn't just a lucky preseason moment. We've been hearing his name since rookie minicamp. From Otis to now, his speed, agility, and awareness have set him apart. Even Lions fans, watching from the other side, are starting to talk. This kind of rise during training camp doesn't guarantee a starting role, but it does force the coaching staff to take a longer look. Could this be the surprise weapon the Chargers need in their offensive arsenal? Closing thoughts. No matter how you look at it, this team needed a boost, and they just got one. If Lambert-Smith keeps playing at this level, the Chargers' receiving core may look very different by week 1. What do you think? Is Kendra Lambert-Smith the real deal, or just a flash in the pan? Let us know in the comments, and as always, stay locked in for more breaking NFL coverage. It's starting to feel like the Chargers' offense is quietly assembling something special. And no, we're not just talking about the usual names. The 2025 NFL Draft may prove to be a goldmine for Los Angeles, and one name in particular is leading that narrative. Kendra Lambert-Smith, selected in the 5th round, is suddenly looking like the first offensive weapon to truly pop off the page. But he's not alone. Just behind him is Marion Hampton, showing flashes of burst and balance that you love to see from a young back. And while Najee Harris remains sidelined for now, the presence of Oronde Gadsden gives this unit another interesting layer. A receiver built more like a big-bodied chess piece than a traditional tight end. At one point, it looked like the Chargers might be scrambling to figure out who would carry this offense forward. Questions were everywhere. Could Tre Harris finally break out? Is Quinton Johnston ready to step up and stay healthy? Would anyone actually emerge as Justin Herbert's go-to guy? But suddenly, there's clarity. Kendra Lambert-Smith isn't just flashing. He's stacking performances. His momentum started in rookie minicamp, picked up steam during OTAs, and now, under the bright lights of the Hall of Fame game, he's delivering in real time. 2 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Clean routes. Explosive separation. Finishing ability. That's not filler production. That's game-changing talent. When all else feels uncertain, you want reliability. And that's what Lambert-Smith is becoming. A safety valve. A spark plug. Maybe even more than that. With Tre Harris still working into rhythm and Quinton Johnston battling consistency, Lambert-Smith's rise might be the biggest surprise of the Chargers' preseason so far. And if he keeps this pace, don't be shocked if he's lining up with the starters when week 1 arrives. The depth chart is shifting, and this team may have just found its unexpected X factor. The Chargers couldn't have asked for a better way to launch their preseason. And if you blinked, you might have missed the chaos. In a shocking opener, Los Angeles came out swinging. On the very first play, the Lions botched a kick return, coughing up the football and immediately setting the tone. It was a gift, one the Chargers had no problem unwrapping. And from that moment, it felt like momentum had fully shifted. Trey Lance stepped in and took full command of the offense. He looked poised, confident, and ready to compete. A huge morale boost for a team that's been searching for depth and consistency behind center. But that wasn't the only storyline that stood out. Zion Johnson, the versatile lineman drafted to be a foundational piece of this offense, lined up at center for the first time in his professional career. And while it was a small sample size, it mattered. He later shared how it felt to finally get live reps at the position, adjusting to the rhythm, making real-time calls, and understanding what needs to improve. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. This game wasn't just about scoring early. It was about experimenting, testing, and learning. Players were moved. Roles were shifted. Coaches were watching closely. And even though the Lions didn't bring the fire many expected, that didn't dull the impact of what the Chargers achieved. This wasn't just a win on the scoreboard. It was a statement that this team is adapting, evolving, and ready to surprise some people this season. From fast starts to unexpected line shifts, the Chargers are sending a message. They're not waiting for the regular season to find their identity, they're building it now. Some things don't make the highlight reel, but they still matter. Take Zion Johnson lining up at center. It wasn't flashy. It didn't show up in post-game headlines. But it was a meaningful step in his development. And for a team reshaping its identity, those moments quietly build the foundation. But let's talk about what did get noticed. Because fans watching the Chargers-Lions preseason opener couldn't ignore what unfolded. The Chargers didn't just play well. They dominated. Nico Reed showed up. Kendra Lambert-Smith made big plays, again. And the Lions? They looked flat, lethargic, outpaced. Sure, it was preseason. Yes, many of the starters weren't on the field, but it was also national television. The stage was set. The lights were on. The audience was watching. And Los Angeles refused to let Detroit have even a moment to shine. That's not just a football win. That's a culture win. What makes it more intriguing is the man behind the curtain, Jim Harbaugh. You've probably seen the image by now. Harbaugh peering through a tarp during practice, intense, focused, unbothered by optics. That's not a meme, it's a mindset. Strange as he may seem, this guy is already leaving fingerprints all over this team's discipline and demeanor. It reminds us of one simple truth. Coaching matters. You see it across the league. Whether it's Harbaugh bringing structure to Los Angeles or a different brand of energy elsewhere, leadership shapes everything, from who shows up in big moments to how a team responds when it's under the spotlight. This wasn't just about scoring points. It was about sending a message. The Chargers are organized, energized, and coached with intent. And even in a preseason matchup, those traits rise to the surface and make people take notice. In football, we talk endlessly about talent, 40-yard dash times, arm strength, defensive speed. But when you zoom out, one truth rises above the rest. Leadership shapes outcomes. And at the heart of that leadership are two people, the head coach and the quarterback. Get both right? You're already ahead of most of the league. That's exactly what the Chargers appear to have in Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. It's easy to underestimate the influence a coach can have when you're dealing with 53-man rosters, complex systems, and veteran professionals. But Harbaugh has proven time and time again, both at the college level and now in the NFL, that he knows how to build unity, channel momentum, and elevate performance. You're not just seeing it in the schemes. You're seeing it in the culture, open practices, high-intensity reps, attention to detail. There's a new energy in Los Angeles, one that feels sharp, focused, and player-first. And that's where the comparison to someone like Pete Carroll becomes interesting. Both men lead with personality. Both believe in keeping the locker room alive, but they also demand results. And when your locker room believes in the mission, you don't just have a team, you have a movement. Pair that with a franchise quarterback who continues to mature each year, and you've got the foundation most teams are desperately searching for. Honestly, once you check those two boxes, coach and QB, you're already covering most of what it takes to contend. The rest? Fill in the gaps. Develop your depth. Stay healthy. But that core, Harbaugh and Herbert, gives this team a built-in floor. And that floor is pretty high. So, when the dust settles, and we talk about who's going to make a postseason run, remember this. The teams with clear leadership and elite quarterback play almost always rise to the top. The Chargers aren't guessing anymore. They've built the structure. They've found the identity. Now, it's just time to execute.